Hey everyone, welcome to Cowabunga Ranger Talk. I'm Maskara. With me is my partner in crime, if you will, for the show, David, DTV83.
Hey everybody.
And today we got a pretty fun one. We're going to be looking at Wave 1 of Super 7's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So uh, take it away, Dave.
All right, so we're gonna look at the pictures I've taken personally for my videos that I did on YouTube. I have all my pictures on my Facebook page, and that is where we're gonna be looking at them. I don't know if you can see them or not, because I know you're on your phone.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so this is the Green Ranger, as everybody knows. As he's doing his famous, calling the Dragon Zord pose. Um, one of the things I like about the Super 7 is the detail work. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so I can't really zoom in too well, but you notice he has a gold buckle. Seriously, just a gold buckle like he's supposed to have. And the words aren't showing up, but it does say Power Rangers on it, believe it or not.
Hmm.
But the one thing that people hate about these characters is this little ab crunch thing right here. They don't like this. It doesn't bother me, but the detail, even the Dragon Day, is so detailed. I don't know how clear it's coming out to your phone,
Hmm.
but can you see the detail on that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I mean Hasbro's. I know the new 30th anniversary one is supposed to look like this, but I think the old ones were just kind of like, you know. But even the detail of the helmet is really nice, and the detail of the sword.
Hmm.
What do you think of the sword?
This sword looks nice. To be honest, so many people have done the sword. The one difference I see is that this one has a felt tip at the end of it.
Yes.
The red thing there, the little beanie looking thing that hangs at the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Well,
that seems to be the difference, right? Like,
that's pretty much the difference. Is that Super 7 took time to do all these little intricate detail work on everything they do. Like they try to get down to the nitty gritty of every little detail on these characters, even the chest plates. The little red little diamond thing in the helmet. I mean, they try to make sure that everything is correct compared to like Hasbro when they first released him. It looked good, but there was a lot of missing details on certain parts.
yeah,
And there was nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
But if you look at the articulation points, you got the one for the foot, the knee, the hip joint, or the ball joint by the leg.
Hmm.
I don't know. I people kind of like they don't have enough articulation. I disagree with it because honestly, again, I've said this before in other podcasts. When there's too much articulation, it makes it too easy for them to loosen up and just basically make it hard to stand without a stand.
Yeah,
I'm not me personally. I'm not a big articulation. I like the detail work of these characters.
yeah.
But again, for the Green Ranger, the arms do pop off. The head pops off, as you'll see here. At the pictures, there he is. I mean, you can do things like this, and I think this looks really cool. With the little helmet off. And one of the things about this guy that most people hated was the face sculpts of Tommy. This was one of the biggest complaints with this original one was the face sculpt of Tommy. I mean, you can kind of see it. You can see how kind of cartoonish it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the helmet looks amazing.
Eh, since we're talking there, uh, I think that's where they should have gone. I think they should have done the helmets. Like, I know Hasbro was gonna do the helmets for sure, but
Yeah.
it figures like with Super 7, instead of making an Ultimates, why don't you just make really highly detailed helmets for the Power Rangers
Oh,
instead
they
of, you know what I mean? Like, you figure they would lean more into that direction than, okay, we're gonna try to do the Power Ranger, the Mighty Morphin team, and we're gonna be like the 100th person to try that. The
but
helmets, you know what I mean? I
yeah.
figure the helmets might be a different route to go.
And they still might. You never know. They could do something like that. I mean, they're making a. I know we were going to talk about this later, but they're making a $500 turtle van pretty much, and a helmet like that with all the details that they had little snaps on it and everything like the TV show. People sell
Yeah,
those for over $500. The ones that are custom made.
but
You
that's
know.
I mean, but the general line release, a helmet is usually like 120, even with inflation. It's like
Yeah.
the most expensive helmet I've seen was Lord Zed when it first dropped at the beginning of the year was like 130 35 at GameStop. You know, like it wasn't over 135, and
No.
that is something uh, you cannot resculpt Lord Zed's head helmet because like all Power Rangers have this shape to their head, their helmet. It's a motorcycle helmet. Let's be
That's
real.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Okay, but Universal, joints. Okay, you have a mouth, you have the visor, you have the little eyes. There's certain pieces that go into every Power Ranger helmet, but the
Oh, most
Lord's,
definitely.
you know what I mean. But the Lord Zed helmet, there's nothing else you can. You know what I mean? You're kind of that's a one
Well,
and done. You know what I mean?
with the Lord Zed helmet and the
Had the
Lord
big
Drac,
Z
yeah, yeah,
thing. You know?
the Lord Zed helmet and the Lord Draken helmet, they could make it cheaper. They could actually have two versions of it, one with the voice changer and one without. That's what costs a little bit more is the voice changer inside both of those.
That
But yeah, overall, it's going to be more expensive because the big Z, the brain, and all that. I get that, but they could actually lower the cost if they took the voice changers out.
but you can't reuse any pieces. That's the thing. Like
Yeah,
okay, like you're saying the Lord Draken helmet, right? You could use the back of the White Tiger Ranger, the White Ranger, right there, because there's nothing in the back, right? It's just a white
right,
backdrop. So you could White Ranger helmet. There you go.
exactly. And that helmet, the White Ranger helmet on Entertainment Earth, is like $79.
See,
Yeah, it's
and
not that expensive.
the
But
helmets
again,
drop
but
too.
again, they're
You
all
know.
magnets. They're magnetized. They're not
Yeah,
clasped. And a lot of people still have problems with the detail work. Like you said, Super 7's detail work, in my opinion, is just phenomenal, even on these little guys.
yeah. Or another route they could have gone is just straight morphers. Why don't you just make really highly detailed morphers?
I,
You
I've,
you, you make
yeah.
Mighty Morphin, you make Zeal. You know people. You know what would actually be really cool if somebody started doing the Dino Thunder team because it's one piece here, and all you do is change faceplates on the Dino Thunder ones.
Oh, is that all you do?
Yeah, but
Oh,
people like that. That's oh look, this is a Tyrannosaurus head. This is the pterodactyl. This is the Tommy one. The brachio. Here's the
yeah.
Tricera. It's easy and it's repetitive buying. You know what I mean? And it looks completely different. It's not like the Mighty Morphin Morpher, which is one thing, and all you do is change out the coin. When you change out the morph piece itself to the Dino Thunder changer, it's like it changes a complete look because a Tyrannosaurus looks nothing like a Brachio, looks nothing like a Triceratops. You know what I mean? It
Oh, yeah,
really,
definitely.
really changes the hell out of the look. And as it's a Tommy season, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So if you look here, I have the reactions figure right next to the ultimate figure. And
Yeah.
as you notice, even the reaction figure was very detailed. So you got this $55 7-inch one, and then you got a $25 little 4-inch character that doesn't move as much as this. The articulation is very limited, but the detail work on everything was just as high detail
Yeah.
as this. Even this was little felt, and then the Dragon Dagger was just as detailed as the big one. It was really surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here comes one of the favorite ones, the Zord. I mean, look at the back of this. The back of this Zord is so detailed. They didn't have to do that, but they did. They took the time to actually look at the back of
Well,
the Zord.
they're going for show accurate, right? So
Yeah, exactly what they're doing. They're looking for short, accurate, and I mean, they even put the cannons inside the mouth. I mean, it's little stuff like that that gets me. They don't have to put the cannons in the mouth. They don't even have to have the mouth open and closed, but they do.
mm,
And I think it's amazing what they can do, even with this Zord. I mean, look at that. I mean, even the Zord has tail. All the little pieces move on this tail, and
how
it's
much
all
articulation
detail.
can you get out of it, by the way? Like, is
Uh,
it full range, like 360, or is it just like
yeah,
just like that?
you can get a 360. It's just each piece moves separately.
Oh,
So
oh, like the Red Dragon Thunderzord, the neck and the leg is kind of the same piece when it's like doing that movement. Like,
yeah, pretty
you
much.
know?
Yeah, with this the tail's like that. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get. If I had a stand, I can make him do the little kick thing where he sits on his tail and kicks, but I would need a stand of some sort to keep him up in that position because the upper body's heavier than the tail naturally. So, uh, but yeah, the articulation of this guy just for a Zord being this, it's boxy. I mean, there's a lot of movement in the tail. The arms have very little articulation,
Yeah, that sucks.
but it's a Zord. I'm not expecting it to have high end articulation.
No, but like, okay, here's me nitpicking at it, okay? And it isn't even a nitpick, it's just like common sense, okay?
Yeah,
These Zords don't have to transform. So you could
they
put more
don't.
articulation into them because they don't have to turn into, okay, the head has to go into the chest and the leg has to go into the abdomen, and then you don't have to do any of that. You're not even getting the Megazord head out of here. You're just so you can put another pivot in the neck and you could do other things. I mean, it's armchair quarterbacking, I know, but it's still like if that's what you're doing, go for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally agree with you there, but I think what they're doing is trying to again mimic the show. The guy that's in the Tyrannosaurus Rex, just does those little movements here and then. I think
Yeah,
that's what they were trying to do. Is like, okay, we're gonna do this show, so if someone does a stop motion, they can do that instead of having some kind of weird like this or something, with the arms. Uh,
yeah.
but like you see, I have the little guy up here that comes with them, just up there like he would be before he jumps in the Zord. Um, and of course, all the paint. The paint job is amazing
Is
too, in
there
my
a flap,
opinion.
by the way? Is there like a head flap so you can open and put the little ranger in, or no?
No, no, they don't do that.
Okay.
And like I said, I take a lot of unique pictures, different camera views, and
How are the leg movements, by the way?
the
Does it
leg
move
movements
well?
are the leg movements look great. The
Because it's a T Rex, so it has to move a certain way. You know what I mean? But
yeah, well
this
the
T Rex could do that.
the feet can actually swivel like this and this way, so that's kind of
Okay.
neat. And of course, the knees can go into a 90 bend and then straight out.
Hmm.
Uh, there's no real rock or anything like that in the hips,
Hmm.
too much, but you can make it move like a T-Rex if you really want to. The body actually bends pretty far down, bends pretty far back.
Is there
Um,
an abdomen crunch on it?
yeah, a little
Like an
bit,
abdomen to swivel the waist from the crotch, if you will.
very little, very little. Same thing with the head movement. The head movement is very kind of, very little. But again, I didn't see head movement in the show too much side to side, up and down.
No,
There's more up and down.
but you know what I mean. Like most T Rexes, they do like this, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, you could do a little
Can he
bit of
do
that.
the T Rex thing?
Yeah, I had him. Yeah, I moved this guy. Yeah, you can do that.
That's what I mean. 'Cause the bottom swivel, if you will. The,
Yeah,
yeah,
and there
that's
you
good.
go. Some classics right next to him. So you see the White Tiger Zord from Bandai and the Warrior Wheel. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
But
those
that
are
gives
good.
you an idea how big Bandai Zords are compared to Super 7.
Well,
You know,
he looks pretty small. What are the original Bandai ones? Were what, like 10 inches?
I think that's a 12-inch when he's in Tiger in
Did
battle
it reach
mode.
that?
Yeah, and then the Zords in Super 7 are actually 8-inch.
Oh, I think like I know what it is. It's the forced perspective because it looks closer to Warrior Wheel, but it's because the Tyrannosaurus's legs are bent. It's not standing straight out. That's why it's smaller than it really is. It's the angle, but I get it. It's got to be higher to the right because
Yeah,
his knees are bent.
his knees, yeah,
Because
they're
when you're
bent.
standing straight, it's different than when you're crouching down.
Yeah, but even that, the White Tiger Zord's still much taller
Yeah,
overall. But again, I've had the White Tiger Zord for years, and that's the
yeah.
condition it's in. I mean, I've never even cleaned it. It just came right back out of the attic that way, and it was like, cool.
Okay.
um, oh, wrong part. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does scale pretty well when they're in their animal form.
Yeah, again, that's one of those things, Super 7, it looks nice. It looks like it should, you
Yeah.
know. Okay, so here's Aisha. What do you think of the head sculpt on that?
I think it's fine. Like I get what they're trying to do because they're trying to do like they're trying to go somewhere between the original flip head and modern like full head scan. Like they want to be somewhere in the middle there. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
don't. They don't want to be completely cartoony, but they don't want to be completely realistic either. So they want to try to be somewhere in the middle, which is very smart from a strategy perspective. They, it's just a specific sculpt expressions, I guess would be the best way to say. I think the expressions are bad. I don't think the sculpts are bad though. You know what I mean?
no,
Because if Tommy's like, like you know what I mean, and
like
he's got
Tommy,
like these black eyes for some reason, you know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
why?
Tommy had a good head and a bad head. I mean, good Tommy, bad Tommy head, and I don't think I had the bad Tommy head on this set for some reason. I know I have it in the video, and it's just it's not good. The newer one that they came out with, the glow in the dark ones, look a lot better, honestly.
Well, they
But
don't
I'm
have
not
that
gonna.
black wash, right?
No, they don't, and I'm not gonna buy a glow in the dark one just for different heads. Someone if they released a head pack, I would buy them. But
Yeah, so we were talking last time about
yeah,
releasing head packs,
yeah.
which is a smart thing to do if you want to keep this line alive.
And
But
here's Trini. Trini looks even me, in my opinion, Trini looks amazing there.
you zoom in on them.
Yeah. And again, it's just one body, two heads. So it's the exact same
No, but
body.
yeah.
Yeah. For what it is, Trini looks pretty good. I mean, they're not going to get a perfect head sculpt anyways because they don't have the actresses. They would
Well,
have to take so many different pictures from this TV
well,
show.
they couldn't. They couldn't just because there wasn't 3D scan head scanning in 1994 or
Well,
1993.
that's my point. Again, they're
Reference
using
photos
those
and stuff. Yeah,
reference photos for everything, and
yeah,
I just like how I can actually hold the helmet on these things. And you can tell it's the helmet. I mean, there's the little hole in the bottom of it, that's where
yeah.
it goes on the peg. I think it looks neat that way.
You know,
Um,
now that you say about Trini, this is an overall statement. All right, I think
okay.
Trini, the Trini civilian head, I think it translates really well across lines. Like because I've seen it from Hasbro, I've seen it from Super 7, I've seen other people try to do. I think she just seems to be one of those head sculpts that translates well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Some don't like the Zack heads. Some of those Zack heads have been rough.
Yeah, I'm ready
Trini,
for
you know what I mean?
I'm ready to see Super Sevens. Honestly,
Yeah,
when I get it, it's supposed
the
to come in
Jason head.
December. We can
Yeah.
show the Jason head off if you want later.
Well,
Yeah.
let's finish the wave here because
But as you see, the holster holds the blaster just fine as well. On all of them.
how's the movement on the female body? By the way,
They're perfect. Our trainee actually has. I mean, there you go. And that's standing by herself, no stand, no nothing, in one of her famous poses.
but it's okay. Well, does she have enough range of movement in her leg thighs when she's kicking out? Because like
Yes.
I don't know if you have the Ninja Turtles April, but she has sort of this thing where like she's wearing this crotch piece that looks almost like a diaper, which is really the criticism that most people have of the McFarlane line that the crotch all looks diapery. So
No, I
yeah,
have not. I don't have that April.
yeah.
The April I had. You know what? Actually, I have an April. I do, but it's Playmates, and it's
Oh, but it's
not
not
yet.
the Ultimates one.
No,
All right.
no.
Yeah.
But here's Goldar.
Yeah.
Now, when I saw this Goldar, it made me happy because Hasbro brought out the original Goldar that had no rings. The original
Yeah.
one had no rings, and then the secondary one that looks a lot better has the rings but don't has the nubs. So I don't know why Hasbro has that issue. Like wants to bring out multiple of the same character with different accessories and stuff.
I wouldn't mind it, and it like personally, like if you get a different look for it, that's fine. And I've seen the second Goldar, the Hasbro one. I think where they messed up is the plastic itself that they use because it's
Yeah.
kind of a like if you have the Goldar, it's got a sort of a gummy plastic. It's not a hard plastic. It's sort of a you know what I mean, like it's half squishy, but Goldar is like this giant gold monster. So it's like, How are the
Yeah,
wings on this?
exactly.
Because that's usually what people are
Okay,
trashing
so
on.
I had no problem with mine.
Yeah,
Again, there's always going to be QC issues on anything, because not people, the companies themselves are not the same as they used to be. What the companies used to be strict about everything. Everything's got to go out. Everything's got to be nice and tough. Nothing can break on it. They're built a certain way. These guys are all meant to be taken apart, put different hands on, different heads on. So I think it's a little harder for the QCs to be 100% perfect compared to the older day stuff, in my opinion. But the detail work again on the sword, all the different colors, they even on the little ball here. It might be a little hard to see,
no,
but
it looks cool.
yeah, and even the detail work on the chest plate, the head, the sculpt, everything.
Yeah,
Super Seven's monsters are probably the best thing about the Super Seven characters, honestly.
yeah,
Um, Let me zoom out here. But again, plenty of articulation. Nothing gets in the way. The head does a little bit, honestly, because of the hair, the little braid things here
yeah,
gets in the way. But it's Gordo. You never see him turn his head too far left or right. I mean, and then
yeah.
he's got the little
Usually
box.
pivots the whole thing. If
Yeah,
he moves by his waist.
exactly. And his waist, you can turn his waist all the way if you want to. And the little gold box with the coins. The coins are actually in that box. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But I was just trying to get the picture of him holding the box like in the TV show. That took me a while to do, but I did get it. So it was pretty neat.
yeah.
And I, I have no problem with Gorda and those the nubs. Um, I kind of have a test with these guys. I put them on my hardwood floor
Hmm,
to see if they will stand by themselves
hmm.
because the hardwood floor is kind of a slick surface. It's not rough. It's kind of slick. So if they can't stand, that means they're too heavy somewhere. Like my Superfly from Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem will not stand up by itself on the hardwood floor.
Yeah.
It's too top heavy. Oh, there's the coins. It's kind of a blurry picture that was my fault, but you can see all the detail on those things.
Hmm.
It's pretty neat. I mean, you can tell that that's Tyrannosaurus, pterodactyl. You can tell what they are, and they're super tiny. I mean, they're like, I don't know, maybe an inch by an inch, if that, or half an inch, something. I mean, they're tiny, but they're highly detailed.
Hmm.
And then we got the putty patroller.
Yeah.
Uh, am I zoomed in? No, I'm zoomed out. But again, this is the Z putty patroller, so it has the Z accessories on it from
Hmm.
the Lord Z era.
Hmm.
And of course these are all removable. All these are just accessories. It comes with a few extra hands.
Hmm.
You can even put it has some of the weird ones like the cowboy hat, the pumpkin head,
Hmm.
and it came with this head sculpt too. So there's one head sculpt that's for the Lord Zed and one for the non-Lord Zed. But you got
Yeah.
some of the weirdest accessories with this guy. Uh and they're all based on the TV show. I mean, you would have to understand what
No,
episodes from
I
what.
get I get all the references to what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like the clown thing is when they had the clown episode where like some clown turns into like a giant pineapple monster, and Trini's niece or something is chasing the monster around. And yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
episode.
I love, and this was from a Halloween episode
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the head, yeah. The accessories are weird, but I like them.
No, I get what they're going for and what they jump out at.
And then you got a little show of a Hasbro moment there with the Green Ranger Shredder and then the Lord Draken. Um,
No,
I
yeah,
will say, I wanted the other Lord Draken that came out about a few months after this one, after I got this one, but didn't have the money at the time, and it was limited. I think it
oh,
was
the
the
black one,
black
right?
one with all the little helmets. Yeah, and it came with like a comic book too, and I was like, oh, I want that, and it was like I don't have the money for it, and I can't find it anywhere for a good price. So, but the shredder here, I know it's about Super 7, but this shredder is actually not too bad. If I had any complaints about anything about Hasbro, honestly, it's just the lightning effects. I really don't care for them. What do you think about the lightning effects for the Hasbro stuff?
I think they're a cheap fill-in because they can put blaster effects on pretty much every character, and it fills out the
Yeah.
box. So it's just a space filler. But I'm not like opposed to it, but I'm not against. You know what I mean? I'm not here or there about it. It's just something to fill out the box. Yeah.
So I want to actually zoom in here because there's something on this Putty Patrol that I have never even noticed as a kid watching the TV show. But I guess somehow they have this little pinnacle on the Putty Patroller, this little
Yeah.
star, and I never noticed it as a kid. But as a kid, I was really never paying attention to the belt buckle of a Putty Patroller. But again, that's where you're getting all the detail that Super 7 does. It's like I would have never noticed that.
Hmm.
But again, here's the ones with the little red eyes and the little clay hands. I guess they would be considered. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. I think they did a good job. It's just basically the same body that all the guys have, all the Power Ranger guys. It's the exact same body,
Hmm.
just a little bit different paint colored. That's all. So it's the same articulation.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And so here is the box. This is the basic Super 7 box right here. Nothing too special. But yeah, I think the Super 7 stuff is just, so much accessories. And some people complain about that there's too many accessories for these people, for these characters. I think they do a fantastic job with the accessories.
Hmm.
The one that's coming back to me finally, the Kimberly one, has so many accessories. And there's even one accessory that it took me a minute to realize what it was.
That
It's
one
actually
does.
part.
Yeah, I saw that. The Kimberly is not one of the great hut scopes.
No, she wasn't when I had her before I had to return her. No, but one of the accessories she has is actually from the movie. It's a little dragon stinger, whatever. The ones that she rips out to hit one of the uh, gooey guys. Can't think of the name of the characters,
Yeah.
but it's in the very beginning of the movie before they got the ninja powers, and I'm just like, they added that. It was just one of those. Wait, why did they add that? Some part of the TV show. It's part of the movie. It was just kind of an interesting little shock. Of course, you got the back of the box with all those. I will look up the Jason real fast to show you guys because that should be the next one. That some of these pictures on here have nothing to do with Super 7.
Yeah.
So that has to do with some of my other videos.
But that's wave
Because like
one, right?
that was Wave 1. Yeah, you got Green Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Goldar, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the Putty Patroller.
Yeah. Well, I think we're good there for today because we're covering just wave one today. Then next
Yeah.
time we can cover wave two or wave three, whatever, on another episode.
Well, I want to show you one thing because we talked about it, and some reason I don't have the coin for it on my pictures. I don't know why, but I have the Dragon's Art coin, so I'm going to show that off real fast because one of the things that all the Zords come with are the coins, and every time I make a video of this, I make kind of a fun of Hasbro because we all know they use this Z for their Zord extension project.
Yeah.
But it's not anything about the Zords. It has to do with Zoo Ranger. That's
Yeah.
what that Z from. And it's like, so I kind of make fun of it, but that's the coin itself. Fully die cast metal. It's raised up and everything. And I think it looks amazing.
Does it come with the Brachio coin? You know the Brachio
They're
Dragon
trying to,
Zord? The
yeah, it comes.
Dragon Zord. No, the you okay, this is the one that most people know, but there's the other one that
Oh,
looks
the
like
original symbol.
no, the one of the animal one, the one that's
Yeah.
like a dragon-ish looking thing.
No, it doesn't come with it. It just comes with this one.
Yeah, I
I don't
got
think,
that one.
yeah, I don't think anybody's released that ever. An actual company. I know you can get them off of like uh Etsy and stuff like that, so you can paint them yourself and put them in like the 91 morphers and stuff. But I don't think anybody's ever released the dragon coin like that.
Okay, I actually have it here. If you
Okay,
want,
well,
you can blow me up so I can show you.
yeah, there you go.
Okay, so this is what I mean because I have the original one. This this is the
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
This
No
is
one's. I don't think anybody's released that besides like custom people like Etsy and stuff. You know.
yeah. Yeah, I lost my shield years ago. Everybody's gonna be oh
Hey, you know what? It's okay. So did I. I have the flip head guy, and I don't have any idea where the shield's at.
yeah.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of done with the topic of the day, what? One of the things I would like to see is an updated version of this. Like, like I love this is such an iconic mold, like such an iconic design.
Is that the 6 inch?
This is the 8 inch. This is the
That's the eight
original.
inch.
This is the original toy line. This is
Okay.
what Super 7 is kind of going
Kind
for.
of basing it off of, yeah.
Yeah, but loose as hell. But okay, this body mold can't be that hard to, reproduce. And since you
No.
use it for the men and the women, it would be cool. Look, you have a lot of articulation on this. This figure specifically is like old, but still, you get a lot of movement here. And okay, you had a lot of. They have a lot
Yeah.
of articulation that Super 7 doesn't have. Sorry, bro. Okay, this is all kind of rusted out, but it still
Yeah.
has that. And Super 7 doesn't have this, and this is literally like 30 years after the fact. You know what I mean? Like it has that. The like I would personally try to talk to Toei or talk to Bandai about buying the license to getting the trademark for this body and updating these because these would sell really well. Like
Well,
there's
Bandai still has the trademark for those bodies because those are just the Sentai bodies. Because originally, all they did was re-market the Sentai over here with the Power Ranger label.
yeah.
So they still have the rights to those bodies. The problem is, do they want to reproduce them?
Well, look, you have this body, so you could use it for men and women. So it's a one-time sculpt resculpt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What I would fix on them is the hands because the hands were always shit. These hands can't hold any weapons. If you could get new hands, and
Does
then you
those
can
have?
you can re-release this like a million times. You can release
Oh
it
yeah,
with the helmet, and then you can release a Tommy version with an unhelmeted one. Just
yeah,
Tommy without his helmet, but with his whole Ranger costume on. You could do the same thing for all of the other Rangers. You can release the Adam version, the black one with Adam head, and then the Zack head. You could do the same thing with Trini, and then Aisha, like Super 7 did when putting
yeah.
what you do
Well,
on sculpt. So I think this is really untapped as hell.
yeah. I
Like
have the right weight. I have the white Ranger one of those that came with the Tiger Zord.
yeah,
Somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I have it somewhere. And again, yeah, the articulation on those guys were amazing for the time period, you know. Um,
yeah,
and they still stand up to the test of time, honestly.
yeah.
But yeah, you
There's
know,
they're still fun. Like there's things you could also fix on this because since it works on a screw system, these screws will rust out on you. I mean, it's been a million years, so
well, you getting yeah. Back then, they only had one way to make things, you know. So
yeah. Like now, the Super 7 doesn't have any screws, right?
no, they're just ball joints and
But
what's the other thing called?
it's pressured in, right? Like it's
Yeah,
pressured,
they're
heat
pressured.
pressured
That
into.
that is why my Kimberly left arm would go in, but as soon as you moved it, it would pop out. I mean, literally, there was the only problem with her was that the arm. When I got her,
Yeah,
I took her out of the package and it went pop, and I'm like, no.
yeah,
I was like, no, that's not supposed to happen.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it was just, and it took me. It's taken this long. It's supposed to be here Friday,
Okay.
and I sent it back uh about 3 weeks ago, and it took them. So when I got it and I wrote them, it took about 2 days to get an email back from them to approve the return. I got the return label and all that, and it took about a week to get there, and now it's finally coming back. So it's almost been about a month, and it was just like, at least it's not costing me anything to return it to Entertainment Earth or anything. So Entertainment Earth does a good job. Just they take forever on everything. But at least the customer service is good. They're gonna work with you. They're not gonna ask you for a million things like Hasbro does. Hasbro asks you for wow. you know. I don't know if you ever dealt with the Hasbro issues, like
I
sending you
never
something
I
back.
never had any issues with Hasbro.
Okay.
I sent them a picture of my Dino Thunder White Ranger
Hmm.
with the old helmet, and then they sent me a new one. They
Oh,
just
nice.
they just wanted you to like uh, they just want a picture of you with the figure so it can
Yeah.
prove that you actually bought it because you're an actual customer, not just somebody trying to flip the helmet. And that's understandable. You know?
Well, since we're on the subject, so when I had my Dragon Dagger, but when I had the issue with the Switch, they wanted the PCU or whatever it's called off the box.
Yeah, they want the
They
box
want
shot.
it. They want the picture of the Dragon Dagger itself. I mean, understandable. You don't want to make sure you have it and not somebody else. They wanted so much information that was just on the box alone. Where you got it from? How much did it cost you? When did you get it? What's your address? This, that, that. It was like all this work just to tell me, oh, we can get you an item of this less valuable than that one. And I've
Yeah,
never received it. And I did this in the beginning of the year and I've never received it. I've contacted them and I've never received it.
yeah. All right. Well, to kind of close out the the one question I had, the one little point before we end the show is I wanted to talk about this. I don't know if you've seen, but Super 7's doing a super cyborg version of
Yes.
Crane's android body. This is fun as shit. And I saw the pictures for the Crane's android body.
Hmm.
It's the exact same figure. They didn't add
It
any
is.
articulation, right? Like, you know,
I do, actually, I think they have a low articulation on those figures.
but
I
like
think.
this is just like legs, arms, and hands, bro.
Yeah. It's the
No, but
exact same.
the new figure, the super cyborg thing,
Yeah.
which is them. I don't know.
I think it's a really cool
That's all he could do, basically, in the head.
idea. I mean, they have the Dragon Zord and the Megazord for it too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
freezing a little. Oh well. But anyways, yeah, it's just
This is still a fun ass figure, though. By the way,
oh yeah, definitely.
sturdy as shit. You can,
But
you
I
know,
I I like what Super 7 does with the cyborg stuff. It's kind of neat to see the inside of this stuff, the little mechanics that doesn't really do anything, but it's still kind of one of those science fiction type things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any any last things you want to let the audience know or
Just leave comments. Let us know what you are thinking about the show. Let us know what you want to see in the show, even if you're interested in a certain topic that we can cover. I'll be interested in that. And we will be going live very soon, so we'll be being the 1st of December. So
yeah,
enjoy that, I hope.
yeah.
And anything that you would like to shout out?
Yeah, you can. We're gonna be taking. We're gonna be trying the chat room thing. So we're gonna be trying to go live and answering questions, and and specifically, we're gonna be doing a pretty topical thing. We're gonna be talking about Super 7 pros and cons. So
Yes,
that's gonna be the topic for December 1st. It's Friday, I believe. It's gonna be fun because
it's gonna be fun. Yes.
we like to talk about both sides of the thing. We're not just these like toy shills, like, oh man, this is the greatest thing. We gotta back the house. No, bro, come on, bro.
No, I mean we have old
You
school toys
decide if
too.
you want to do it. Yeah, uh,
Yeah, I mean, I have stuff that I can show off that's from my childhood. I mean, that's the type of collector I am.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
That'll be a
oh,
fun one. A
it's
lot
gonna
of
be
talking
fun.
points. Yeah,
There'll be a lot of talking points, and I will probably be showing off a few things, and I'm sure Masquerade will be showing off a few things as well. And
yeah, yeah.
and if
Because
any,
there's so many lines. Oh,
oh yeah,
last thing, and with this we could kind of end the show. Are you collecting any of the Toxic Crusaders figures or no?
no, not yet.
I'm kind of on the fence of it. like the body is still the body from Masters of the Universe that they just updated for Toxie because they still had the license when because they've done like six different versions of Toxie. But I'm on
Hmm,
the fence.
yeah,
I'm
you're on
on
the
the fence.
fence.
I'm on the fence for two reasons. Number one, they've been talking about Dr. Killamoff, which is the bad guy. They've been talking about making. They have a sculpted. They've been saying they have a sculpted Dr. Killamoff for like 6 years already, but they've never showed one image for the bad guy, which is really. I don't know. It's mind-boggling. It's almost like Playmates when they had that sculpt of Shredder and Krang that they never released,
So
and
I
so that's me. And the other one is really I'm waiting for next month because we heard a recent interview of Super 7 and they were talking about they have another release that they're going to be releasing, well, at least announcing in the next month or so for Toxic Crusaders. So I want to see if they do Dr. Killamoff decently, then because Toxie's kind of the cousin of Ninja Turtles, and
yeah,
I don't know. What do you think?
I think if you're into it, you're into it. If you think the characters look cool. Again, I'm not sure how much articulation you're really into. If it's about articulation, or if it's about the detail, or if it's about both. You know,
Well,
I
they've
mean, because
improved. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
we could talk about that, but I don't know if you've
So
actually seen them. Their articulation gets a lot better. Like the Toxie body mold was
yeah,
kind of hindered, but then you look at the Radiation Rangers; those are brand new sculpt, and that's a really good job that they did. Then they did the Junkyard one, and that one's a really good sculpt too. That's a really good articulation. It has the giant dog tongue, and it's like really cool. Another little thing on that line, they're splitting the line there as well.
really,
Yes, because you know how with Ninja Turtles they've been doing the Playmates line, and now they're getting ready to start doing the 2012 line, right?
yes, yes. I'm excited for that one. That one's almost getting me to buy the turtles.
Okay, and you know how yeah, you know how Thundercats is a split line now too because it's like or TV accurate, but now they're doing toy accurate versions, right?
Yeah.
They've done the same damn thing with Toxic Crusaders because they had the toy figure, the toy accurate, and now they're doing TV accurate, and that's why some of the boxes say TV accurate because
Oh wow.
because the junkyard is supposed to be toy accurate because
Okay.
the TV show is different, and Toxie is supposed to be TV accurate, so they're like, I
Are
don't
they
know.
gonna do a movie accurate too?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know. I
I
mean,
mean,
those movies I know wasn't as popular as the cartoon for the
no,
kids, but
it's a completely different audience
yeah,
though.
it's a different audience totally. But I know, but again, like Super 7 does like music people like Devo and the
Yeah,
Who and stuff like that too. So you never know. But I do have a question for you since you
so,
collect Super 7 turtles a little bit.
yeah. So,
Are you gonna be buying the turtle van or the party wagon?
uh, probably, but not anytime soon. Like
So- uh,
I see it more of a maybe the year after, but not. It's not a buy now. Right now, the main thing I want to buy that literally just dropped on BBTS is the Space Cadet RAF. That one's that one's the one that one's a sort of a day one ish one for me. But
Okay.
everything else I could kind of wait on. The
Well,
Genghis frog looks the all right, but every I'll probably
yeah.
eventually have them all, but just
Well, I know it's Super 7 and Super 7's
it's not day
idea.
one anymore.
No, no, no. I know Super 7's idea is to let the fans actually collect the stuff that they want to collect, so they're not really like taking them off the shelf per se, kind of like Hasbro. They kind of keep slowly restocking back things up.
Yeah,
But I saw the NECA turtle van, and you can't find it anywhere besides on eBay for over a
yeah.
thousand dollars. Over a
I,
thousand dollars, and it looks
I,
horrible. It looks horrible.
I really don't care about that. It looks like a yellow box, but
Yeah, it looks horrible.
that's just me, and I'm not trashing it.
No, 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 no. I will trash it. It looks horrible.
I
It
think
does
the
not look good.
underground Did you see the underground the Arsenal van? That thing looks beautiful for what it is.
No, I have not.
It is very good. And with that, we're gonna end this episode. Thanks everyone for joining us. This has been fun.
Yes,
Like I said, get ready because December 1st we're going live.
that's right.
See
Thanks
you
for
next time.
watching, guys.
Bye.
Peace out.